Welcome to today's practice. So today we are going to begin lying down. Just lie yourself back down on your mat. Bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees drop open. If you want to clench your fists and take your hands underneath the top of the legs for a bit of support, then you can do. If not, maybe arms alongside you with the palms facing backwards. Close your eyes. We're not going to be here too long. Just start to link through to your breath. Gentle breath in and out of the nose. Just taking the time to start to draw your awareness inside your body. So just leaving to one side everything that you have going on. Bringing yourself into the present moment. Just take one more breath here. And then take your hands behind your thighs and draw your knees in towards each other. And from there, we'll bring the knees in towards the chest. And then just a little bit of a rock from side to side. Draw the knees right in towards the chest, but just so the hips lift a little away from the mat. And you get that sense that you're lengthening out through the spine. And then drop your feet back down onto the mat. T-shape your arms and drop your knees over to your right hand side. Just turn to look out over your left shoulder. Couple of breaths there. Inhale, bring your head back through to centre, bring your knees back through to centre. As you exhale, knees to the left, we'll take the gaze out to the right. And just grounding through the right shoulder. Full awareness on your body and on your breath. And then use your next in-breath, head back through to centre, legs back through to centre, knees back in towards the chest. And then use your next in-breath to lift your nose up towards your knees. If you feel like your head and your neck are straining, just clasp the hands behind the head to support it. If you feel alright, you can reach your arms out alongside the body. See if you can bring the knees in towards the nose a little bit more. Again, you've just got that little lift of the hips away from the mat. One more breath. And then exhale, release it back down. So head comes back down, take your feet back down onto your mat. And then clasp the hands behind the head. You're going to work with a few bicycles. If you have a tendency to yank your head, you might be better off taking the fingertips to the side of the head. So you just want to be mindful that you're not pulling your head and your neck as you work here. So inhale, lifting the legs up away from the mat, so you've got your knees, maybe pretty much a right angle. And then inhale, the upper body lifts. And then from there, left elbow to right knee, extend the left leg out. Back through to centre, right elbow, left knee, right leg extends. And then we'll work through a few of these. And make this mindful and slow. So you're not just whizzing through it at 100 miles an hour with no thought to form, with no thought to what muscles you're using to maintain this. Just keeping going. If you need to rest at any point, then just take your head, your feet back down onto the mat, take a breath. Same right the way throughout your practice. If you need to rest at any point throughout the practice, feel free to do that. A couple more times each side. Bring it back through to centre, and then as you exhale, take it back down onto your mat. So feet back down, feet hip width apart. Have your arms alongside you, and as you inhale, press into the feet, start to lift the hips and chest away from the mat. A couple of breaths there. Just gently engaging through the glutes, through the hamstrings. And then exhale, bring your hips back down onto the mat. What we do next, you can do with one leg extended like I'm going to, or you can keep both feet down on the mat and work there. So yogi's choice. Inhale, right leg up towards the ceiling if you wish. Exhale there. And then inhale, press into the left leg, lift the hips and the chest. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale up. Exhale, back down. So if it feels too much with the right leg lifted, just bring the right foot back down onto the mat and work there. We've got 2 more. Hips back down, and we'll swap it over. Right foot back down onto the mat. Left leg lifts. Inhale to lift. Exhale to up. Inhale to lift. Exhale to up. 3 more. Okay, hips back down, left foot back down onto the mat. From there, knees in towards the chest and across the ankles, and then roll up and down your mat a couple of times on the spine. 1 more. Come through to upright, and then bring it over onto all fours. If you are padding underneath your knees, feel free to either wind up your mat or grab a blanket. Find some space between your fingers, and as you inhale, lift the chin and the tailbone. As you exhale, press the ground away from you, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, draw it forwards. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Couple more. Just trying to get into each vertebra as you work, fully mindful, fully present. And then come back through to a flat back. Swing your right foot out to the right, extend your left leg out behind you, take your left arm up towards the ceiling. Lengthen there, and then draw your left arm forwards over your ears, just reaching towards the front edge of your mat. And we're going to add in some movement. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale it out to extend, exhale, knee to elbow. Keep going. Take 1 more. Extend it out again. Maybe just press up through the hips. And then as you exhale, bring your left hand and your left knee back down onto your mat. We'll do the other side. Left foot swings out, right leg extends, right arm reaches up. Roll the shoulders away from the ears, and then draw your right arm forwards over your ear. Lengthening into the side body, and then as you exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend, exhale, knee to elbow. Keep going. Inhale, extend it out again. Just press up gently through the hips. And then bring your right hand and your right knee back down onto your mat. Take the hands a little bit further out in front of you, tuck your toes, and find your way into downward facing dog. And then just pad out your feet. Find any movement that feels appropriate. So maybe there's a shake of the head, nod it yes and no. And then take your feet a little bit wider than hip width. Inhale, balls of the feet. As you exhale, drop your heels over to the right, and then the hips come down towards the mat. So it's quite a deep bend in the knees. Inhale back through to centre, exhale to your left. Inhale to centre, exhale right. Inhale to centre, over to your left. And then inhale, bring it back through to centre, feet hip width apart. Start to walk your hands in towards your feet. Hook onto your opposite elbows. You might breathe in through the nose and sigh your breath out through your mouth. Maybe give the head a little bit of a shake. Take one more breath here. And then release your hands, walk them back out in front of you, back through to your downward facing dog. And then from there, soften your knees, look forward, and now you can step or you can jump the feet forward between the hands. Find a halfway lift once you're there, and then as you exhale, fold in, head to legs. Inhale, come all the way up through to standing. Maybe just a little bit of a back bend here. Hips forward, lift up through the heart. Maybe the gaze is up, maybe it's not. And then as you exhale, Tadasana. Release the hands alongside you. Okay, heel, toe your feet together. Inhale, and as you exhale, sink your hips. Reach the arms up alongside your knees. Lift up through the heart. Just kind of try as much as you can, keeping a neutral arch in the spine. Weight is in the heels. And then use your next in-breath. Come onto the balls of your feet. And as you exhale, just slowly start to lower the hips down toward your heels. And once you've got that, just going to lower all the way down onto our bottoms and find your Navasana. So drawing the energy in towards the midline. If you feel that you want to straighten the legs, you can. Equally, you can keep the big toes down on the mat. So just find the place that works for you. Take one more breath. As you exhale, bend the knees. Take your feet back down onto your mat hip width. Hands behind you. Inhale, lift up through the hips and the heart. And then as you exhale, bring the hips down toward your heels. So just a couple of breaths here, getting into your shoulders. And then inhale, lift up the hips again. Exhale, take the hips back towards your hands this time. We're going to bring the hands down in front of us and step back through to plank pose. Couple of breaths here. If you want to put in a couple of push-ups, you can. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back up. And then on your next exhale, we'll lower all the way down to the floor. Untuck the toes, keep the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, cobra. Reach up through the crown of the head, draw the heart forwards. And then use your next exhale, bring yourself all the way down to the mat. Press into your hands. Take the hips back towards the heels. Just very briefly come through into a child's pose. And then use your next inhale, come up onto all fours. Thread your right arm through underneath the left. Bring your right shoulder and temple down onto your mat. And your left hand to the lower back, or perhaps you tuck it into the top of the right thigh. So you're finding a twist. Maybe that's where you stay. Maybe you can extend the left leg out behind you. Maybe you can lift the left foot away from the mat. Couple of breaths. Just gently engaging through your core. And then bring your left knee back down onto your mat. Left hand comes back down. Inhale to all fours. We'll do the other side. Thread the left arm through underneath the right. So right hand to the lower back. Perhaps it tucks into the top of the left thigh. Well, maybe you stay there. Maybe you can extend your right leg out behind you. Maybe you lift your right foot up away from the mat. Fix your gaze on one spot. One more breath. And then bring your right knee back down onto your mat, your right hand back down. Inhale to find your way up onto all fours. And let's find Anahatasana. Let your heart melt down towards your mat. You can always take your forehead onto a block or a cushion if you want a bit of support there.
If you're comfortable to and you have the flexibility, you might even come onto your chin. Just be mindful of your neck. Take one more breath. And then you use your next inhale. Walk your hands back in a little bit. We'll tuck the toes and back into our downward facing dog.
And then you can step or you can jump the feet forward between the hands. Halfway lift there. Exhale, fold in, head to legs. Just have a couple of breaths here in your forward bend. Take a little bit of weight to the front of the feet. Try not to hunch the shoulders, keep them rolling away from the ears. Just lengthening into the hamstrings. One more breath. And then as you inhale, look up. So halfway lift, soften the knees, hands to the waist. Inhale to come all the way through to upright. Heel toe the feet back together. Bring the hands through to the heart centre. Lengthen as you inhale. As you exhale, sink your hips. And we'll twist right. So take the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Find a nice long spine. And then when you're ready, you're going to step the left foot back behind us into a lunge. If you've got your balance, you can take your gaze up and beyond your right elbow. Reach back out through the left heel. And then keeping the legs as they are, use your inhale, just going to come up to standing with the upper, or to upright with the upper body, and extend your arms out to the side. So twisting to your right. Dropping your right hand to the back of the left thigh, flipping the left palm, and finding your reverse. Lift up through the heart centre. Inhale, come back to face the front edge of your mat. Maybe a couple more breaths here. If you deepen the bend in the right knee just a little bit more. And then bringing the hands to the heart centre as you inhale, step the feet forward to the front edge of your mat, or left foot forward to the front edge of your mat. Maybe just rock forwards and backwards on the feet a couple of times. Inhale to lengthen your spine, we'll do the other side. So exhale, bend the knees, and we'll twist left. Right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Get yourself set, and then when you're ready, step the right foot back behind you. You're stepping back into your high lunge. You've got your balance, gaze up and beyond your left elbow. Focus on the breath. We're going to use our next inhale just to bring the upper body through to upright. Just doing that twist, and we'll extend the arms out. And then maybe the left hand drops to the back of the right thigh, right palm flips, and reverse your high lunge. Okay. Inhale, you're going to come out of that twist, out of that reverse, come back to face the front edge of your mat. So you're in your high lunge, maybe just lift up through the heart centre just a little bit more. And then your next inhale, you'll step your right foot forward to join your left at the front edge of your mat. Again, just release it out a little if you need to. And then inhale, reach the arms up, bring the palms to touch, and as you exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. As you exhale, step or jump back. So you can go straight to down dog, or you can move through your vinyasa. All meeting in downward facing dog. And then use your next inhale to sweep your right leg up behind you. Bend your right knee, stack your right hip on top of your left. Maybe just a little bit of movement through your right ankle, both directions. And then just gently start to square off the hips. You're going to bring your right leg through, draw your right thigh in towards your chest. Holding it in your high plank, pressing the ground away from you. And then gently step your right foot through between your hands, ground your left foot. Virabhadrasana 1 as you inhale. Calm the breath. Strongly grounding through the feet. And then releasing the hands to clasp them behind your back, walking your right foot out to the right, an inch or so. Lift up through the heart as you inhale, and as you exhale, fold forwards to the inside of your right leg. So humble warrior, a couple of breaths. Think about trying to open through your shoulders. And then from there, just going to release the hands down to the inside of your right foot, pivot on the ball of your left foot, and then drop your left knee down onto your mat. Take your hips back, so your left hip stacks over your knee. Straighten the right leg just as much as you can, lengthen as you inhale, and as you exhale, just folding forward to the inside of that right leg. Maybe try and flex your right foot. For space in your chest so you're not rounding the spine. And then as you inhale, come forwards again, so you're going to bend the right knee, hips come forwards, and then try and thread your right arm underneath your right leg. So if you could get your shoulder underneath there, that's where you're heading. Right hand to the floor on the outside of the right foot, left toes tuck underneath, left knee lifts. Maybe that's where you stay, maybe you can take your arms out to the sides, perhaps you can bind your hands behind your back. So right hand holds left wrist, chest is open. One more breath. Release your hands back down onto the mat and then step your right foot back behind you. Couple of breaths here in high plank. Engage the core, tuck the tailbone. And then roll forwards gently on the toes, let the elbows bend behind you as you lower all the way down to the floor. Untuck the toes. Inhale through cobra, a couple of breaths, soften through the shoulders. Try to use only what necessary effort you need to maintain what you're doing. And then as you exhale, lower all the way down, press into the hands, come up onto all fours, hips back towards the heels, tuck the toes, and then into downwards facing dog. Use your next inhale, float your left leg up behind you. Bend your left knee, stack your left hip on top of your right. Option there to circle the left ankle. Take it both directions. And then start to square off the hips as you come through to high plank, drawing the left thigh in towards the chest. Press the ground away from you. Engage in the core. Just hovering there, breath or two. And then step the left foot through between the hands, round the right foot. Virabhadrasana 1 as you inhale. You can look forwards or you can look up. Just getting into your body, fully present. Anything hurts or feels uncomfortable, you just come out. And then exhale, release the hands, clasp them behind you. Opposite thumb and finger on top. Walk your left foot out to the left a little.
Lift up through the heart as you inhale, and as you exhale, humble warrior. So you're keeping the bend in the left knee, the crown of the head releases down towards the mat, getting into your shoulders. And then gently release the hands down to the inside of the left foot, pivot onto the ball of your right foot. Right knee comes down onto the mat. Just take the hips back so that you can straighten out the left leg. Lengthen as you inhale, and as you exhale, fold forwards to the inside of that left leg. So your left hip is lengthening back out behind you, the chest is open. One more breath. And then as you inhale, bend the left knee, come forwards again. And then try to snuggle your left arm underneath the left leg. And again, if you can get the shoulder underneath there, that's where you're heading. Left hand comes to the floor, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. You can stay there. Maybe you just float your hands up a little. Maybe you combine the hands behind your back. Keep the chest open. Press up through the right thigh, one more breath. Release the hands back down, step back through to plank pose. And then from here, let's come down into a forearm plank. So your forearms come down onto the mat. And then as long as it's feeling all right, we'll start to lift the hips and walk the feet forwards, coming through into dolphin. So the head is lifted, you're not trying to drop the head down towards the floor, press the ground away from you with your arms. Just keeping breathing, 2 more breaths. Walk your feet back out. So you're going to walk back into that core plank. And then come back up onto your hands on your next inhale. Full plank. And then hips up and back. Downwards facing dog. So just soften the knees, look forwards, and as you inhale, I'm going to jump through to a squat at the front edge of the mat, but knees together. Knees, feet come through together. Now, if your heels come down to the mat, brilliant. If they don't, you can pop some padding underneath them if you need to. And then we're going to find a twist. So lengthen as you inhale, left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Hands to prayer. So you're twisting to your right. So if your heels are up, you might find it quite wobbly. Enjoy the wobbles. And if you feel it, you can take the right hands, both hands to the floor, to the right hand side. Lift up the hips onto your upper arms, tip the weight forwards, perhaps there's a side crow there, or you can straighten out the legs for Ekapada Kondinyasana. When you're ready, come back through into your squat, come back through to face centre. Lengthen there. As you exhale, you're twisting left, right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. And again, you can just choose to hang there a while, or you can take your hands to the floor. Just spacing through the fingers, lifting up the hips. So tipping through onto the upper arms, and the option is there to straighten out the legs if that feels okay. Come back through into your squat once you're ready. And then from that, just gently sit yourself back down onto your mat and bring the soles of your feet together. Lengthen the spine as you inhale and as you exhale, tip forwards. You can take your arms out in front of you. You can use your elbows to help you open your hips. To find the version that feels appropriate for you today. Slow down your breath. Two more breaths here. And then use your next inhale. Walk your hands back in towards you. Come back through to upright. And then let's keep the soles of the feet together. Take those feet a little bit further out in front of you now. Lengthen on your inhale. And as you exhale, again, just tipping forwards, coming forwards to your own degree. Soften through the shoulders. Now you might just hold on to your feet here. If you know this pose and you want to thread your arms underneath your legs, I can't quite find the bind here. If you can bind, then you could bind. It's like, again, you're trying to draw your knees up over your shoulders if you could. Couple of breaths here. And then use your next inhale, nice and gently. Start to release out of the pose, come back through to upright. Extend your legs out in front of you. Bend up your right leg and take your right foot to the outside of your left thigh. Turn the top of the foot to face down. And then option one is you stay here. Option two, you bend your left leg so your left heel comes over to your right hip. Adjust yourself so you're sitting down between your heels. And then take your left arm up alongside your ear. Bend your elbow, drop the hand between your shoulders. Maybe you just want to draw the left elbow back behind the head with the right hand, or maybe you can take the right hand behind you and hold on to your left fingers. Lengthen the spine as you inhale, and as you exhale, fold forwards. If you want to make this pose a bit stronger, you can just edge your feet away from your hips slightly. Always coming back to the breath. And then inhale, come back through to upright, lengthen there, and as you exhale, release it out. And then let's just swap over legs, maybe just give the legs a little bit of a wobble, left foot then to the outside of the right thigh. Turn your left foot to face down, and then if it feels okay, right heel over to left hip. Again, sit down between your ankles, between your feet. If you want to sit on a block or a cushion, that might be helpful. Right arm lifts as you inhale, bend the elbows, drop the hand between your shoulders, and maybe you just take the left hand to your right elbow and draw the right elbow back, but without letting the head knock too far forwards. There is the option to take the left hand behind you if that feels appropriate. Lengthen as you inhale, and as you exhale, fold forwards. Let's take one more breath. And then inhale, bring yourself back through to upright. As you exhale, release out your legs and your arms. Maybe just give the legs a little bit of a wobble. And then bend your knees. Take your feet flat onto your mats. Arms out in front. Engage the core. And then slowly lower yourself back down onto the mat. And you can always hold on to your legs if you need a little bit more support. So you come all the way down. So knees are bent, feet are hip width. We're going to find a way back into that bridge pose. Press into the feet. As you inhale, start to lift the hips and the chest. If it feels okay, clasp the hands underneath you.
If you want to add on, we'll take the right leg up towards the ceiling. Bring the right foot down, inhale, left leg lifts. Bring the left foot down, inhale, a little bit more of a lift. And then as you exhale, release your hands with control. Slowly, the spine will come back down onto your mat. Take a breath or two. So you can choose to repeat your bridge, or if you wanted to take this into your wheel pose, over Dhanurasana, then you can find your way into wheel. So either hands underneath the shoulders for wheel, or coming back through bridge. As you inhale, start to lift up. Couple of breaths. Lifting up through the hips, through the heart. And then slowly, again with control, the spine comes back down onto your mat. And then just gently bring the soles of the feet together, let your knees drop open. Your shoulders soften down towards the earth, spine relaxes. And then when you're ready, gently draw your knees in towards your chest. Little rock from side to side. And then cross your ankles and bring yourself back through to seated. And let's finish here in Paschimottanasana. So straighten your legs out in front of you. If you want to sit on the block or a cushion, you can. Pelvis tilts forwards. Lengthen as you inhale, and as you exhale, find your way to your forward fold. Slow down the breath. With each exhale, just see if you can soften in just a little bit more. Then use your next inhale. Bring yourself back through to upright. And then as you exhale, slide yourself back down onto the mat and find your way into your relaxation. Close your eyes. Maybe there's another couple of long sighs out through the mouth. Body starts to relax. Releasing all effort. Slowing the breath. Maybe taking a moment or two to notice the energy as it moves through your body. How does that feel? Current emotions, state of mind. Just become aware, notice, and then try not to hold on to it, just let it go once you've noticed. This time to fully relax. And as always, stay here for as long as you need to. And I'll see you next time. Namaste.